Hello everyone, it's me, B Dragon Sonic, Blooded Dragon Sonic, BDS Formula 1, whatever name I came up for myself this weekend, and it is time to just get into the preseason for Season 14 of the Formula E Monopoly Championship, and we start out at the now double reigning World Drivers and Constructors Champions since Season 12. Season 13 was a better year for them comparing it towards last season, but still not the championship double with a 1-2 that is expected of such a great team. And they have removed the now 9? Yeah, he's a 10-time champion in BD Dragon Sonic. They've replaced him with Ironet Babness, and this was a move made by BD Dragon Sonic himself, simply due to the fact that he wanted to see what he could do in his machinery, even though it was equal. Ravo's in the 7, and still at the Hyperdrive team, as you'd expect. Then it's Mercedes Formula E team replacing Volkswagen, with Lawless Chiclek returning after a one-season absence, and JD Venter in the 23 for South Africa. And I can't give away too much, but he does have his own race now. Jaguar up next. Same livery as last season, same lineup. Salas Kynes in the 55, with Pastor Maldonado alongside him. Then it's Pinnacle Formula E team, and their results last season, they were not at the pinnacle of performance, to be completely honest with you. Akari in the 10, Leo in the 30, they're hopefully going to try and go for wins, and who knows, maybe even a championship challenge if they could. Then it's got a Volkswagen Formula E team. They looked so good this time last season, and they ended up second last in the constructors' standings. Quite a shocker how much times in testing don't matter. MF1 model in the 91 and Theodor Schumacher in the 90, as it was last season. Then it's Red Bull Formula E team. They came in with quite a lot of hype, quite a lot of promise, and they just could not match up to it. Hopefully this time, however, an Kiwi and Mahave Raghunathan can come up with something special for this new season. Then it's Lamborghini Mako. Lamborghini purple doesn't make sense to me, but we roll with it as they rolled with it in the second half of the season last time out. Jaco Tigrana is the bulk of the force, giving the team most of their points, and Marcus Nelson took him a while to get anything, but when he got something large. Then it's Renault Edams. Same lineup as last season, with Bob and Milrez. Similar livery to last season, with a minor addition being now they've got a little bit of an arch. It doesn't matter as much as their results last season, where they were a little all over the place. Then it's DS Andretti. Seb Ocampo in the number 76. On record, this is the single greatest rookie season of any driver that we saw. Only 20-ish points away from a World Drivers' Championship, and he'll be going for it this time. Then it's Daniel Bogdasarov alongside him. This is his third season. His second season was comparable to the highs of his last season. But let's take a look at Braun Honda Grand Prix. Braun now with a new powertrain supplier in Honda, with UK Ball still in the 89, David Camino still in the 88. The car looking as good as it always has, and they're going to hope to try and go for a better title fight compared to last season. Then it's Rodin Toyota Gazoo Racing, with Yuki Suo in the 19 and Dash Sanchez in the 72. The new Toyota powertrains that you're receiving, and the new partnership with Toyota has meant that they've added a few splashes of red to the car that make it look like the official Shadow the Hedgehog race car. Now, as for the calendar this season, we start out in Jeddah, then we move to Santiago, Monte Carlo, and Marina Bay. Then it's the Las Vegas E-Prix, followed up by the East London E-Prix in South Africa. Many people thought we could have held it in Johannesburg or Cape Town, but East London kind of made a little more sense considering they do still have a track there. Then it's the Melbourne E-Prix, followed by Lagos, Nigeria, and Sanya, China. Then it's the Tokyo E-Prix, Rome E-Prix, Marrakesh in Morocco. Then the last 4 races of Austin, Texas, Sakhir, Bahrain, Yas Marina in the UAE, and we ended off in London, United Kingdom. So let's head up to the preseason test in Adiria. And for the first time in a long time, I'm actually going to be doing commentary for this preseason test. It's going to be the same length as before. With most races, David Camino on pole for this test, with Ravo alongside him. Then it's Milres, then it's MF1 World, UK Ball, and Dav Sanchez in the 6th place. Then it's Mahavir Raghunathan, Daniel Bogdasarov, Akari, and JD Venter. Then it's Yuki Suo in 11th, Anok Huey 12th, and Bob 13th. 10 places away from his teammate. Arnett Babnas, then Marcus Nelson, Leo, and Jaco Tigranes. Then it's Pastor Maldonado, Theodore Schumacher, Sebo Campo, Lawless Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz. We will not be trialing the safety car here because it halts races a lot too much. 3, 4, and now 5 lights to mark this daytime test here in Adiria, and we go green for the Adiria test. And yeah, Ravo from pole, drawing alongside with David Camino, and yet he's way ahead of the leading Braun car, MF1 World, in the Skoda once again, looking to have a good run at the lead in this preseason test. He's always good at the tests, and he's got a 5-second time penalty for colliding with the Italian driver. Now, coming into where Sector 2 begins, we usually see a handful of collisions here, and that is UK Ball in the wall, and out of the preseason test. Virtual safety car has been called out. He went a little bit airborne. You just have to be a little more tentative with the wheels when you've got to consider where you're going. Ravo still leading from MF1 World and Camino, and looking at B-Drive, I gotta go used to that again. Looking at Arnett Babnas, rather, in the number 14 for Hyperdrive Racing. And yeah, you can say this has been a little bit of a baptism of fire for the Romanian driver. He was P4 leaving last season. He was the 4th place driver, the better driver for Volkswagen, and he was looking to try and get past Jaco Tigranes, so he does get past Tigranes up into 14th for the number 14 car. And the thing about Babnas was, he's a great driver from what we've seen of him. He came into the championship in season 3, and he showed everyone what he was made of. He's never really had a good championship run. Season 6 so far has still been his best shot at the championship. As we look at him trying to get himself up into a higher position, he's side by side with Marcus Nelson, the season 9 champion, for 13th place, as he does take it from the Lamborghini Mako car. But for Arnett Babnas, the fact that he is now in the reigning Constructors Champion team, as Bogdasarov is out at the same place as UK Ball, so they gotta push the wall back there in the future, maybe. Or maybe we need to reduce the speeds. This is just a pre-season test. This is where we get all of our teething problems done. But for the 14, this is his best shot of winning a championship, but he's partnered up with Ravo in the number 7 car, who is also a championship caliber driver. However, he's only really had 2 shots at it, seasons 2 and 3. This could be it, however, season 14, or maybe it can go the way of the car number 14. We'll only know when that checkered flag flies in London. Leo in the number 30 car. What has happened here? Sebo Campo and Lawless Leclerc have had a bit of an incident. I think Ocampo might have had a puncture. That's likely what's happened here. And Carlos Sainz has been involved in this. David Camino pits on lap 3 of 12. I know it's a virtual safety car, but with Rag and Nathan also in, with Bob as well, Tyre Wolf have brought in quite the degenerative I don't really know how to say what the word is for it, but like these tires degrade very quickly. And we've seen this across the season. An undercut is the most powerful strategy possible. The overcut can work as long as there's a virtual safety car. So at a track like Monaco, Jeddah, and probably Austin, Texas as well, you might want to go for an overcut because crashes are pretty likely. If you're in Marina Bay, if you're not going for an overcut, what on earth are you doing? That is literally how you win races. Bob Dasarov knows that best. He literally went for the overcut and then did a 2-stopper when everyone else did a 3-stop. MF1 World gaining on Revo, who, if you look at the statistics, is the most successful driver to not win a World Drivers' Championship here. And into the pits comes the Skoda driver in the number 91 car. He was forced to use the number 91 because when it came to registering, someone had already taken his namesake 19, that someone being Yuki Suo, who is now up in 15th and is known for being a little freaky. But things happen. And yes, we are using this Formula E sound font thing in post-production here as well, because it just makes sense. Saras Kynes at the fastest lap now. And I believe he is still yet to make another pit stop. He's going kind of slowly with MF1 World right behind him. He's got quite a lot of tire wear. Look at that from the heavy Laguna Thin. Up into 10th place almost. He's being forced to go side by side with MF1 World here. This could go very poorly. They've just about managed to keep themselves out of the wall. So, clean, fair racing. That's what you want to see. He's tried to go down the inside. Has the Indian driver. And he does get up into 10th place. He's not Indian, actually. I think he's British. I think he entered as a British driver, yeah. I'm not going to mention his nationality any further. MF1 World, the German, currently in 10th. Following in the slipstream of Saras Kynes, acting as a little bit of a bottleneck here for this 9th position. Revo now, he's coming into the pits. Akari currently in 2nd. And he's defending from the Japanese number 19 car as they both peel into the pits. JD Venter also in, and Volkswagen and now Mercedes have said this many times, and I think we might get reminded of this as Camino now leads the way. The undercut has worked for the Brawn driver. They play favourites. They do play favourites, and last season that favourite was JD Venter. This season, could they actually have an equal squad with Leclerc and JD Venter? Speaking of Wallace Leclerc, only man who decided to do this test on the hard tires, everyone will be getting each other's data to see how well the tires actually work around on this track layout, because this track layout has medium speed, high speed, and low speed corners. Well, they're abundant with high-speed corners, to be honest. But as far as a test facility goes, it's not that bad. The two Renault Edams cars, now, I believe they're trying to see how well their cars run one behind the other. And, that is a little bit of a gap emerging between the two cars. So either that's Mulres having better corner entries and exits, which could be due to the wake that Bob is experiencing, or maybe the car isn't that good at falling in slipstream. He's actually gaining, however, is the number 11, the Mexican 11. And someone's dived into the pits. That's Leo and an Alcuy. Oh my goodness, 28%. So the medium tires can do a maximum of 6 laps, and that's pushing it. 6 laps is pushing it. These guys race the tires so hard, it's not even funny. And we're only at half test distance. It's Leclerc. What's happened with Lawless Leclerc? He's hit someone. I think he's hit Akari, we believe, yeah. And Akari missing his front wing there. there is the number 10 car from the Philippines, driving for Pinnacle Formula E team. And that seemed to be pretty scruffy from those guys trying to make a pass. JD Venter going to show his teammate how it's done down the straight into turn 10. And that is 14th for the Mercedes driver. A reminder that times in testing don't really matter too much. And Leclerc's hard tyres have reached that cliff of performance. The hard tyres are the worst performing tyres. They lost a pretty long way into the race, but considering how they've only done 6 laps and they're already falling off, we see Mahavir Raghunathan take P2, try to take P2, fail to take P2, get dropped down to P5. The hard tyres really don't work. Ravo up into the lead because Camino has pitted again. We believe, Camino, he's come into the pits, he has. Mealres was waiting for a second there in the Renault, and this proves my point I've been trying to make. The reason I've not made the upgrades is, Sanchez has gone off, Oh, and his teammates hit him. His teammate has hit him. And is there a problem with Sanchez's car? There doesn't seem to be. I think he's just kind of slower. This is kind of the point I'm trying to make. Equal cars makes for fun racing. And a definitive champion. Before it was basically just, a money race to upgrade your car. Now, with upgrading skill, it's a less definitive way of saying that your car is better. And Marcus Nelson really getting bogged down here. He's got Camino alongside. With 5 to go in this test, there is so much happening here, it's not even funny. Unfortunately for Andretti, they're not going to get too much information from the preseason test of their own, so they don't know what setup they should use for their car and their drivers. So they're just going to have to base it off of other drivers. On to 8 of 12 then. 4 to go. Mealres pulls to the inside of the hyperdrive car ahead of him. Almost slams the back of him. A carry with a track limits warning now. I am losing my will to speak. But yeah, Robo's still leading the way. The sky is getting a little bit overcast. It is quite a bit overcast here with 4 to go. And there is a chance, there always is, that we end the race in the wet. And there is always also a chance that the last lap is wet. If the last lap is wet, this is the really important thing. The pit lane closes on lap 13. Once everyone's crossed the line for lap 13 and someone's gone out, JD Venter and Bob both out at this actual coming up to. This is a very, very treacherous section of track apparently. If the cars can't really make it through at easily 2x2. The thing about this is basically, if you tried to come into the pits on lap 14, like at the start of lap 14, you kind of just can't unless you've got damage. And even then, most teams opt not to because it's the last lap. No one else is pitting. And Mealres slowing, and he's got a puncture. The medium tyres on that yellow and blue Renault Edam's car have given out. And it's just the rear tyres, so he hasn't gone too long on his tyres. Must have run over some debris, sadly. Debris who hasn't raced in any of the championships in a long time. Into the pits have come the top guys as well. Oh my goodness me, what happened there? Kari just rammed the back of Mealres there. Oh my goodness me, that was... What a punch, actually. That's kind of impressive, if you ask me. That's somewhat impressive. It's a literal nose bug if you do that to another driver, which is kind of a big no-no. You should never collide with another driver, but definitely didn't work for Akari there. And we are going to go on board with Daf Sanchez in the number 72 car for Rodin Toyota Gazoo Racing, or just Rodin Toyota if you're inclined. He's currently holding up behind Babinus, and that is Mahavir Raghunathan. who's been forced into the wall. Virtual safety car called. 3 laps to go. If we had a safety car, half of the drivers who are out of the race would not be out of the race. However, we would not have any racing laps. It's the thing. If we had a safety car. This is why we have a virtual safety car. We have more racing. VSC ending. And we go green again. Through to go. Maldonado gaining on Leclerc. And he might be able to make the pass. He's looking for a position to make it, and he's just sent it. And, yeah, I think Maldonado might be able to... Yeah, he's edged him out. He's gone ahead. 2 to go. And now we're going to see the difference between an 80% and a 40% worn soft tyre. And it's all going to be in the gap between Camino and Revo. Currently 9 seconds. It could close. Across the line, the gap was about 8 seconds, so it could close up. Unless there's a virtual safety car, in which case we can't really get too much of a gap into that. We can't really tell what the difference is between a basically fresh tyre and a very worn tyre. Camino might pit is the thing, so keep an eye on sectors. MF1 World, the fastest first sector of anybody. And it's Camino now, coming up to the final sector. Take a look at the gap. That's the sector line. We're going to go on board with Revo. And he comes across the sector line now. And it's 7 tenths rather, that he's gained on the Brawn ahead. 7 whole tenths. Brawn could theoretically, if Camino could manage his tyres better, he could have stayed out, but no, they've called him in. They have called him in, which is a smarter move. And Akari once again causing a collision, and that is Marcus Nelson and Milrez also being involved in a little bit of a fracas here. And Theodore Schumacher, that is the root of the problem with a puncture. Milrez missing part of his front wing. And it's Marcus Nelson. Oh, Marcus Nelson also with a puncture. Sliding after being hit by Milrez. Akari goes by. Leclerc goes by. And that's 2 drivers with a puncture on this lap. The penultimate lap of the E3. They will be allowed to come into the pits. But Revo currently leading away from MF1 and the 2 Rodens. Milrez does come into the pits. Changing his front wing. Akari staying out, Leclerc staying out, Leclerc trying to get past Akari. He's going to find the inside line, he's going to send it down the inside. And that 1 year he spent out of this championship, he went to the WEC, the World Endurance Championship, and, well, this is kind of what he deals in. He is a clutch performer. He does clutch moves at the end of any race he's in. And Revo, he's about to start the final lap of the E3. Theodore Schumacher, who won the last race of last season, the London E3, looks to be lapped at the end of this preseason test. The tyre wear on Revo's car is 47%. Hyperdrive Racing have never had a puncture, is a fun statistic. So far, in their existence, punctures and Hyperdrive Racing have barely even been in the same sentence. They don't coexist most of the time. And an RQE trying to find his way past the Roden Toyota of Daf Sanchez as Camino did ahead. And oh, virtual safety car. What's this about? What is this about? Is that for Revo? That is not for Revo. That's for Theodore Schumacher, who had just been lapped. But that Skoda car is now out of the race. Unfortunate for them. And how close is an RQ? He's not even close, mate. He's nowhere near. He's just nowhere near. There's no point in questioning it. And we go back racing now for what will be Revo's final sector in this preseason test. We're going to stay on board with the number 7 car. We're going to keep looking at the Italian 7. Got the Italian flag on the top of his helmet. He's got lightning bolts next to him. Feel the revolution. As he now rounds the final turn. Kamina with a track limits warning. And as Inokui and Kyne's battling out. And Raver will take the preseason test here in Diriyah. Milrez with the fastest first sector of anyone, so they're trying to go for qualifying pace. Kamino drawing alongside, and that will be second, considering MF1 World's penalty. And look at the gaps between those guys. That was an entire tenth of a second. Just separating 3 cars. Babinus on the back of Jaco Tigranes. Last lap gasp. Not for the Romanian, who sets the fastest third sector of anyone. Lawless Leclerc coming on with a P12 finish. And then it's Akari. And we're going to take a look at Milrez. Milrez, you saw he was igniting the first sector. Comes through the final turn. Is that going to be a new fastest lap? Comes across the line, and it is a new fastest lap, and it's a new lap record as well. 119.983. And does Marcus Nelson find some more time in that Lamborghini Mako car? Coming across the line now. And he does, a 119.9. Pretty good. And that's... I don't know why we have a podium celebration for the preseason test, to be completely honest. But yeah, that is your preseason test here in Diriyah. Tomorrow, you will see the first round of the season in Cheddar. So until then, I've been B Dragon Sonic, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.